Hey, what's good? What's good? I am Cool Blue, and down on my end is
Lady Blue.
And this will be another episode of Blue Talk. I do not know what episode this is. I will not lie to you.
It's been a minute.
I'm about to say it. It's been a cool minute, so please charge us in my head, not my heart. But I do know who's sitting next to me. Would you like to introduce, or would you like me to introduce?
Sure. We have the wonderful, the amazing, the illustrious hairstylist, April Cook here of April Cook Salon Suites.
Hello everyone.
Yeah. So, I didn't necessarily know if you wanted me to roll in first or if you wanted to.
You can start it off.
Okay, cool. So, the last time we spoke, or the last time we had an episode, you were rolling out your shop, and now, wink, wink,
We're sitting in it.
we're sitting in it. So, before we say anything, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, I always like to give my flowers, or we always like to give our flowers, and it's not an easy feat. A lot of people start on the journey and don't finish.
Right.
So, you know, like being able to see it through in itself is an accomplishment in itself. So we definitely want to give you your flowers for that first and foremost.
Thank you.
And
So awesome.
I'm sorry, my apologies. But before we get into this, please like, comment, and subscribe. People always ask, well, you know, like so, but you're not subscribing. So you don't know what's coming out if you don't subscribe.
That part.
Please and thank you. But yeah, so like I said once before, congratulations. Doing an amazing job. Like, first and foremost, she has like 90 jobs. So, yeah, but I'm about to say, like, 'cause it's like I could literally go between like your clothing venture, because that's how I met you, through your clothing venture. So it's like we could literally start. And I was gonna wear my shirt today, but of course it's in the wash.
Oh, no.
And then the hoodie, it's too hot to wear the hoodie. It's
Way
like
too hot to
like 99 degrees outside, so I can't wear the hoodie. But give the folks a good, you know, little backstory, not too much, and just kind of, you know, like let them know who you are if they didn't see the first episode.
Okay. So my name is April Cook. I am the owner and CEO, founder, whatever you want to call it, of April Cook Salon Suites, which is where we're sitting at now. My goal here is to help industry professionals build their brands while eliminating the constraints of like a traditional salon and bringing like the customer service side and the business side together. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, though.
Yep.
So for those who are looking to get in contact with you about your suites, because we always tend to forget that towards the end of the episode. I'm like, I figure I might as well get this out the way right now. How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so they can either call or email us, call or text us at 443-314-3265. You'll reach out to Kendra, and you can also email us at mail@aprilcooksalon.com. We're still looking for a nail tech. All right.
All right, cool. Did you want to stay in all the questions, or did you want me to kick it off?
Sure. So, look, 'cause you know how you be thinking of stuff and you like, oh. So, what is one of the things that you have noticed about yourself now as a salon suite owner versus back when you were just building this?
Something that I've noticed about myself?
Yeah, whether it's like something new that you've learned about yourself or you've gained, or something where as though it's like, approved department. Like, okay.
So I will say that I work a lot.
Yes.
So I did notice that. But I will say that when sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started, it's 8 suites here. So we had about 5. And then towards the end of last year, 2 of our tenants we had to let go. And so the bills are still needed to be paid, and everything else. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to have to do what I have to do. But I will say that now I have my salon manager, like Kendra. She put self-care days in for me every month, like 2 days out of each month for like an extended weekend, because she seen how much I work. So I think that now having somebody who I can depend on that's going to look out for me, even when I don't look out for me, has helped me. And I take full advantage of my self-care days now. So that's something that I notice. I'm like, I'm at work, but you also need balance and like taking care of yourself and all of that. So yeah, that's something that I've noticed.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing I wanted to ask you before we roll it over to Coupler, do you find, so when you were describing yourself in your salon suites and things of that nature, are you also kind of positioning yourself as a mentor for the people who come in?
Yeah. So, like I said, my goal is to help them, build their brands, and having a background in business, I really think that it's a lost art, like the customer service of it all. And this is a service-based business, so that should be the forefront of it. So really taking what I know on the business side and helping people like navigate their ideas, really turning their hobbies into a business and thinking of it outside of just doing hair. Like, how else can you make money outside of being behind a chair for 10 and 12 hours? Do you want to build products? Do you want to be a platform stylist? Do you want to be in print photography? All of that stuff. Just kind of helping them think it through. So yeah, I actually do one-on-ones with my tenants. And I spoke with 2 of the new tenants that we have to try to help them navigate that. One is actually transitioning from like a 9-to-5 to being entrepreneurship. So like the mindset is just a little different.
Yes.
And the expectation. So that's something that I like to be honest with people about in the mentoring. But yeah, I think at some point I'll be doing consulting. But
You like, let me focus.
yeah. Because I really have the passion to do it, right? And I get excited when I get to help people, so yeah. Yeah.
I know we had kind of spoken a bit off camera. You can kind of elaborate on this or not, but you have workshops as well, right? Or you've hosted a workshop or two?
So I had workshops. So we just
had conference where.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dice it up. Not trying to dice it up.
It's funny because I was talking with one of my friends this morning and we had a meeting, and she actually is my project manager, but she helps us with like different events and stuff like that for something that I want to do. And it's funny because it's kind of workshop.
Okay.
So you kind of speak.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I know you kind of, like I said, like I figured like it was either something that was already on your plate or something that was like
kind of.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on it a moment ago about self-care. I know, and something else that we kind of spoke about off camera, but like if you care to elaborate, what does a self-care day look like for April?
Ooh, self-care looks like waking up without an alarm. It's now my newest thing is working out in the morning. I just finished this 75 hard challenge.
Yeah.
Today is actually the 75th day, and I am proud of myself for sticking to it. But now it's become like a thing. So it's like a way of life, a routine. It's part of my habit. But outside of that, sometimes it's literally my phone on Do Not Disturb, eating my favorite meal, and taking a nap. Another time, maybe like a few weeks ago, I woke up on a Monday because I'm off on Mondays. And I was like, I'm going to the beach. So I drove to Rehoboth, and like, it's literally whatever I feel like I need in that moment. It's not always like going to the spa or anything like that. It might be taking a walk outside, getting some sun, something like that. But nothing extremely like I do all of these things on my self-care weekend. So it's just whatever I feel like I need in the moment.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. So now that you've announced that you finished the 75 hard, do you feel like that challenge helped mold you better for your business?
Absolutely. Balance. Balance is the word. Like I was saying earlier, sometimes finding balance as a business owner can be hard.
Definitely.
Because even when I'm not in here and I'm not servicing clients, I'm still thinking about business. I'm thinking about the marketing. I'm thinking about the content calendar. I'm thinking about how we can fill the suites and make this thing really work, right? Like you have a vision, you see it through, and now you're in it, and you're like, okay, is this working how I expect it to work? But yeah, it's been a thing about balance for me, and making sure I take care of myself, because this business is going to be here and it can't run itself if I'm not well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay, so we've already focused on, you know, how important it is to have balance within the work, even though you work a lot. We all can attest to that. You work a lot.
Okay.
Going over the calendar, I was like, oh, she is busy.
Yes.
So, what are some hobbies that you like to indulge in that you don't mind sharing with the public for your free time?
Okay, so I am a creative at heart. The business is just something that I do, right, or that I learned. But really, at the core of it, being a stylist, you get to be creative. But outside of that, I play guitar. I just started learning the bass. I started playing the guitar maybe in 2009. And it's always like music and hair have always been a thing, but like hair is business now, so it's not really my outlet as much. I still enjoy it very much so. But learning the bass has been something that has allowed me to be creative and free and learning something new. And painting, I enjoy painting at home. During COVID, I actually hadn't painted since like the 10th grade. And,
Oh, wow.
And so I just started painting at home. My sister had like all these arts classes because she's a kindergarten teacher, and all these canvases and stuff like that. So I started painting at home, and I was like, I forgot I like to do this. So yeah, music, all things music. I definitely go to concerts, painting. I love hiking. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. But yeah, those are like my things that keep me like, you know, grounded. But also it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and it's freeing, you know?
I don't think people realize how much fun is required.
Yeah. Fun is necessary.
Yeah.
It really is. It can't be all work all the time.
Yeah.
You know, then it's like you don't have anything to look forward to. You know, so yeah.
What's a since we on the topic of music, what's a go-to genre for you?
I am okay, so there's two. So normally I'm in like the neo soul, indie, you know, that. But I love to dance. And even like when I work out, I always listen to Afrobeat. So it's like this mixture of like, if you come to the shop, you'll hear on my station, you might hear some Indiari, you might hear some Joe Scott, you might hear some Alex Isley, or you might hear some Tiwa Savage, or like So, but yeah, those are my two favorites.
Do you do covers by any chance? Like have you ever like recorded yourself doing like a couple of covers? So like, if there's something that you
Okay. What's your question?
I was gonna ask, is there a place to see said cover, or is that just pretty much something that you keep to yourself?
No, most of them are on YouTube, actually.
Oh.
I haven't. Okay, disclaimer. So I started a group called Sidebar back in maybe like 2009. And then we didn't really record. We used to do things called Kingdom Cafe. We were like open mics or whatever. But I hadn't done anything like that since 2016. Then, because there was some other stuff going on, and it just wasn't fun anymore. And so I kind of stepped away from it. But in 2019, some other people and me got back together and we recorded. So that set was called Stream for the Journey, and I think it's still on Instagram. So yeah, on our Sidebar page. So yeah, that's where you can find it. Oh, but yeah, that's been some time, because then we were supposed to, so the stuff that we recorded at the end of 2019, we released January 1st of 2020. and we were getting ready to start doing like open mics and like sets and stuff again, but then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So we haven't reconvened since then, to be honest. Yep.
That's really cool. So I'm trying to think something else I can ask you. Oh, well, the last time we tried to get together, you know, we were discussing how like you were in the hunt for new tenants, things like that. Yeah. And we talked about it a little bit earlier in this segment. Yeah. So how does it feel to go from like, I don't know what's going on, to like, yes, like, okay, we on the right track?
Yes, it feels really good. You know, I can say that I can take a little bit of a deep breath now because like the weight is off of me. And I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, because sometimes you, like I said, you have a vision, you execute it, and now you're here and you think that, you know how they say, if you build it, they'll come. But
they don't always come.
They didn't come right away. So do you still believe in your vision? Do you still believe that it's what's supposed to happen? So now it's like, wow, my team is coming. Yeah, my team is coming. And it feels really good.
That's good.
Yeah, it feels really good.
I was about to say, I could definitely tell like this time you're like, yes, I really could get it. My girl was stressed.
Okay.
She got a great poker face, but you know, well, you know, other business owners, you like, they are stressed.
Yeah.
Like, you look good, but you're stressed.
Yeah. And it's real. And that's why I like to be super honest with people about what it takes to build a business and the sacrifice that it takes to build a business. Because everybody on social media shows the glitzy, glammy side. They're like, oh yeah, you make your own hours, you do this. I'm like, no, you really don't. Actually, like, you're working more. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I was stressed the last time.
So what's like, do you have any like words or like affirmations that kind of like keep you going? You know, like, people oftentimes talk about their stressful moments, but then it's like, because you're such a disciplined individual, are there any words or affirmations or scriptures or anything that just kind of like, that you have posted over like a mirror, or that you kind of have in a journal, or something that just kind of like you roll over and it's just like, boom, this is kind of like
what keeps me going? I have a lot of them. Of course, I can't think of them off the top of my head. Okay, let's see.
Well, let's give one that we would think, that way it give her time to think of her.
Okay.
Very cool. So lately for me, my affirmation is decide your heart. So basically, either follow through with whatever you want to do, or decide the heart of like not accomplishing it, or like, oh, I'm still in the same spot weeks or months later. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, lately I've been like, decide your heart.
Actually, mine has been the one that I've started with. Like, I kind of have two. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
That's good.
That's kind of been like my go-to, because I feel like a lot of times, you know, like, people like are in spaces, and you feel as though you can't separate from that space. You've known people from when they were younger, and you outgrow situations and people, and you know the same. It was like you elevate and you kind of like decide to do different things, and it's like people feel as though they have to stick with that group. They have to stick with the same things that they've been doing. It's like, when you were younger, you might have drunk more, or you might have smoked more, or you might have partied more, or you might have whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And some people just never get past that phase, or it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like, and a lot of times people want you in those spaces as space fillers, and it's though they don't necessarily want you there, but they want you there.
Oh yeah.
So I often tell people, you know, like, a lot of times it's like they'll just kind of like settle to be in that space and say, okay, cool, this is where I'm known. And they're afraid to kind of like step out of that unknown a bit. So that's one for me. But another one that like I've kind of like gravitated to a little bit more is your happiness shouldn't come at a cost.
What do you mean?
So a lot of times it's like, people kind of have like this thing where it's like you like painting, for example. So like the people around you might not be much into painting. So it's like you'll go and they'll see you doing something. It's like, oh, you've been doing that for forever. It's like you're not making money off of that. And that just might be a hobby of yours.
Yes.
And people automatically assume that money has to be attached to it. And it's like,
That's true.
yeah, so it's like they'll try to kill your happiness to, you know, make themselves feel better. And it's like your happiness shouldn't come at the cost of someone else's joy, in a sense. I don't even really call it a joy, but just like somebody else being content with your life.
Yeah, their opinions about what you're doing too.
Yeah.
I've had that experience with music too. People are like, you don't want to sing? Like, this could be your full time. Like, no, music is just my outlet. Not that you can't make money off of it, right? But like, that's just something for me.
Yeah.
If you make everything work, when are you going to have fun?
Yeah, exactly. And fun is necessary.
Yeah.
So I think something that's been with me recently, affirmation, is that mornings should be easy. And that's something that
That's a good one.
yeah, like you can, because again, like having so many things to do all the time, sometimes I would literally wake up and then I'm like in a full-on panic, like, oh my gosh, I got so many things to do. I got this, I got to do that, da-da-da. And I'm like, mornings should be easy. Like when I wake up, I should take in a fresh breath of air. I should feel my body, you know what I mean? Open the windows, like, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of helped me to stay calm. And then another one is a scripture that says like the good work will be manifested and perfected in and through you. And until Jesus returns. But that's just something for me personally. It's like my purpose, my why, my passion, regardless of what it looks like right now, I'm going to fulfill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something that I keep in the back of my mind as well.
That is beautiful.
Yep.
I love that morning should be easy thing.
I was just about to say, you got me stuck on the first one.
So, I swear, I wake up early to be ugly in peace. I say it all the time. I'm like,
Yep.
please let me be ugly in peace.
Yeah, that's just something that I felt like I need to remind myself. You know what I mean? Another one is that pops up on my phone is if you're snacking, you're hungry. Eat real food. That's
You know what? I need that reminder. Like, that's for real.
Eat real food. So that's just a reminder for me. It's like a bunch of little, that's why I was thinking about them. But yeah, just little reminders and things for me.
That's
To stay in this space. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. I only have one other question, minus. Like I said, I met you through Purpose Over Everything, and I think we did a lot of talking off camera, but like I think like we can. But are you planning to in the future relaunch at any point, or are you
Yeah, so launching like the apparel?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Purpose Over Everything is an apparel line, but it's also a platform for people to discover their why, right? And I started back in 2020, I think in October I launched it. And the apparel is just like an outward reflection of the overall like content. We actually had a little segment too. But I do think eventually I will launch it. I've noticed that my time and like focus has kind of shifted to the shop and like making it run. But I always tell people that Purpose Over Everything is not just the apparel line. It's like the overarching theme in my life, right? And then like under Purpose Over Everything is April Cook Salon, is Coils, is consulting, it's April the artist, it's the creative, like that. But the apparel line is just an extension of that.
No, so I was hoping that you would have said that to kind of make that role intent. that was my whole intent. I was like, because I'm like, you can explain it way better than I can. So I was like, maybe if I'll mention the apparel, that she'll just kind of steamroll and everything else.
Yep. Yep. So yes, definitely for me, purpose is big to me. I feel like if we're more purposeful, then we enjoy our lives. Not that it's always easier, but like if you look at your why and you're doing something that matters to you, it just makes things better. And I've met so many people. I talk to clients all the time who are trying to figure this thing out. Maybe they got a job that they had to because of responsibilities, but now they're like, I think I kind of want to do this. And I'm like, well, tell me a little bit more about it. You know what I mean? Like, why are you passionate about this? Why does this thing not leave you alone? So that's why I've always been passionate about it. Yes, I've been doing hair since the 5th grade. I knew I was passionate about hair. I knew how I like making people feel while doing their hair. And I love the experience of the overall salon when I used to go with my old stylist. And so knowing that thing has helped me transition here. But I realized in the process of doing hair, it's not just about hair. It's deeper than hair. It's more than just hair. And it kind of helps you on your journey.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
The first one that made me think of it while you were talking to me was like my experience with my old stylist.
Mm-hmm.
As a current hairstylist, do you have a hairstylist for yourself?
I do not. I do. It's funny. I actually, I always do my hair. I've been doing my hair forever. And it's funny, since even after having a salon, I still do my hair at home in my bathroom. And my mom will be like, why are you doing your hair here? I'm like, this is just where I've been doing my hair forever. Wow. But it was even funny. Maybe about 4 weeks ago, I braided my hair. I stopped offering braiding services last summer. Mm-hmm. Then I posted a reel, and everybody's like, I cannot believe that you are braiding your hair and you're not braiding ours. I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't do it. My knees. But yeah. But no, I don't have a stylist.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I do have someone in mind for some other things. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, so from that question, my other question is, can you break down the beauty or the necessity of diversifying as a hairstylist? Because you've already done it from the simple fact that you are already a hairstylist.
Yeah.
And then you branched into, let me get a salon suite.
Mm-hmm.
And then you branched into coils. And then you branched into like niching down into like a wedding hairstyle.
Yes.
So it's like, can you just explain how important it is for service providers like hairstylists, barbers, and things of that nature to diversify? Because, your body only going to last for so long.
Exactly. That's something that I really try to get people to think about outside of being behind the chair. Now, it's nice to interact with customers and clients over a period of time. But like you said, you have to think smarter as you're in the industry over a period of time. Like, what other things are going to make you money without you having to work as hard? Mm-hmm. Or while you're asleep, right? Like, I know this one barber who has classes and training to teach how to put on like male hair pieces. Mm-hmm. He charges a lot of money. But so like getting into teaching, right? Or like product development, or even extending some of your services, like making add-on service like deep conditioners, treatments, and all that. But like, you need to find something where it's going to be longevity, create longevity for you, where you're not working as hard.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, you're not even going to want to work as hard. The hours that I used to work behind the chair, and I'm saying, I know I work long now, but when I was working for him, I didn't have cutoff times. I would start at 6 a.m. and people would be leaving my house at like 11, 12, like that's late. So you know what I mean? So as time goes on, I personally think that it's important to get into other things that can open up your mind. You know what I mean? And also talk with somebody about insurance, because eventually y'all gonna want to retire, beauty professionals.
Yeah.
And so having, the proper insurance and like investments now, because one of my clients talked to me about that years ago. She was like, most beauty professionals do not set themselves up for retirement. And that's just something that I wanted to do. Like, me creating the suites is like, okay, I've been hustling, I've been working behind the chair. Now I need this to kind of run itself for me. And then I can put my focus on some other things. And coils, I mean, some things just come easily, right? Because I see clients, one, I use products every day. And I see clients and they have different hair, scalp issues and things like that. So I'm like, and I learned how to make products from my mentor years ago. So I'm like, why am I not doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is doing it. They putting their products in the local beauty supply stores and Targets. Like, I can do this too, right? So it's just about getting in there, seeing what works for you, because everything is not for you. I mean, everybody's not going to create a product, but they might teach a class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it just is what it is. So I think it's important to have more than one thing, because after a while, you're not going to feel like standing up 12 hours a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week doing this. It's very hard on your body.
But that's also the beauty of knowing. So, because like a lot of times, people don't necessarily what they say, like, you don't know when the show is over. So, and it's not to necessarily say that you can't progress and still do it.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of times people kind of sort of go past their limit, or it's like they're like, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. And like you said, you didn't necessarily set yourself up for that. And it's like you'll sit back and you'll complain about the lack thereof, but then it's like, we're all taught the hustle, but it's like, in a sense, it's like that's all we're taught.
Exactly.
And it's like a lot of people aren't taught life beyond the hustle, and it's like that's where, you know, like where people kind of like get into those spaces. And like we spoke on the last on your last episode, that's how we got into the whole imposter syndrome thing, where it's like work smarter, not harder. But for a lot of people, it's like, if you're not working 12, 14, 15, 16-hour days, they don't feel like they're doing, you know.
I feel like it's funny because I had to teach myself how to rest, like for real rest. And it's still, I haven't said I've become perfect at it, but I'm still actively teaching myself how to rest, because you are hustling all the time. You are trying to get, you know, to the end goal, but that's not the end all be all of it all. So, yeah.
So, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to roll into final thoughts. Did you have any more questions that you need to?
No, I think I asked everything.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to roll into final thoughts. I'm going to let the ladies go, and I'll just kind of swing it back this way.
Well, final thoughts, since this has been a constant topic on and off while we were discussing, fun is a requirement as an adult, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. So make sure you carve that out. And, you know, I'm going to leave it at that. I ain't going to talk too much. What about you?
Oh, me? I think that, like I said, it's important. Fun is important. Finding ways to be creative is super important. Having outlets outside of just being a business owner is super important. And to be honest, having community is really important while you're building. It's something that has kept me lifted. My circle has changed significantly since I started this. And so those are things that have been important to me, and just understanding your why. Yeah.
Okay. I would give my usual roll through, but this episode kind of inspired something where it's like not only making time for self, but understanding why you're making time for self.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like I said, people make time for themselves, and it's like they kind of get caught in the, well, am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? But it's like, understand why you're making that time for yourself, and don't trick yourself into thinking that you don't deserve it. Because it's like, you do. You realistically do. It's like people, so I like, because my mom is a workaholic like you. And like, there are literally times where I'm like, well, she went on vacation recently, and I was like, have fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though on vacation, like, she's thinking about what she's gonna do when she comes home from vacation, and I'm like, have fun.
Yeah. And be present.
Yeah.
That's something I'm learning to do. Be present.
But yeah, that, and also, like I said, be kind to yourself. I don't even know what my rollout is. I kind of forgot. You know, I'm not even going to do it today. But this has been an episode of Blue Talk. I am Cool Blue, and this is
Lady Blue.
We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for rolling out your sweet for us. Thank you for making time for us. We appreciate it.
Of course, I was so happy to do this.
Catch you on the next one.
See ya.